Well, today we're diving into the remarkable journey of Moses and the parting of the Red Sea. Moses, one of the most recognized names in Scripture, a man chosen to lead Israel out of Egypt, but one who struggled deeply with fear and doubt. When God called him from the burning bush, Moses didn't feel qualified. He stuttered. He questioned. He begged God to send someone else. Yet God said, "I will be with you." Armed with nothing but a shepherd's staff, Moses returned to Egypt to confront Pharaoh, the most powerful man in the world. With each plague, God showed his power, until finally Pharaoh let Israel go. But freedom wasn't easy. Soon, Pharaoh's army chased them, and the Israelites found themselves trapped with Pharaoh behind them, and the Red Sea before them. Fear rose. The people cried out, blaming Moses. But Moses lifted his voice and said, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring today." Then, God told him to raise his staff, and as he obeyed, the impossible happened. The waters split, and dry ground appeared. Israel walked through, safe and free. Moses' story reminds us that faith doesn't always mean you feel strong. Faith is obeying even when you feel weak. It's trusting God when you can't see the way forward. Have you ever been in a situation where you had to trust God for an impossible outcome? When the walls seemed to be closing in and the only way out looked like a dead end? Join me as I take you through this epic tale that's more than just a historical event. It's a testament to our faith and a beacon of hope in times of despair. As we unpack this story, I want you to think about a challenge you're facing right now. Maybe it feels like there's no way out. Maybe you feel like you're between a rock and a hard place. Well, here's the good news. God specializes in making a way where there seems to be no way. That's exactly what happened for Moses and the Israelites. They were stuck. Pharaoh and his army were hot on their trail, and the Red Sea stretched before them, a vast expanse of water with no hope of crossing. But you know what happened next? A miracle. The waters parted, revealing dry land. And this wasn't just a small puddle in the desert. We're talking about a massive sea that split in two, allowing Moses and his people to walk through on dry land. This story isn't just about a physical journey, it's about a spiritual one, a journey from despair to hope, from fear to faith. You see, the Israelites had every reason to be afraid. They were outnumbered, outgunned, and surrounded by what seemed to be an insurmountable obstacle, the mighty Red Sea. But do you remember what Moses told them? Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring today. In that moment of sheer terror, Moses didn't promise them an easy ride. He didn't tell them everything would be okay. Instead, he reminded them of who was in control. The God who had delivered them from slavery in Egypt and who had a plan for their future. So how did this seemingly ordinary man, Moses, lead his people to this extraordinary deliverance? The answer lies in his faith. Now, I want you to pay close attention because this is key. Moses didn't have some magical powers. He wasn't a charismatic leader with an army at his back. In fact, he was just a regular guy who stumbled, doubted, and even failed at times. But his greatest strength wasn't his charisma or his intellect. It was his faith in God, his belief in the God who had spoken to him in the burning bush and commissioned him to lead Israel to freedom. Friends, this story isn't just about Moses, it's about you and me. It's about every one of us who has faced the Red Seas of life and felt the suffocating grip of fear. But here's the good news. God still parts seas. He specializes in turning despair into hope, fear into faith, and impossibilities into realities. So the next time you find yourself between a rock and a hard place, remember the story of Moses. Remember the miracle at the Red Sea. Don't be afraid to step out in faith, to believe that God can and will part the waters for you. Because in the grand tapestry of life, your Red Sea is just a small section, a momentary obstacle in an everlasting journey. And I'm here to remind you that God isn't just a part of your story, He's the author of it. Trust in Him and watch as He writes a new chapter of hope, faith, and deliverance in your life. Like and subscribe for more inspiring stories from True Gospel Tales.